Hi there, I have another story for you. This is an old book called Animal Train. One of my little friends has heard this one already. You can see the book is kind of torn. It's seen better days. It's from my childhood. In fact, the first page is missing and the copyright page, and it starts right here. So I would say this book was probably written in the 50s, 1950s, I'm guessing, because some of my other ones around that time were. But let's see. Here's the story. Clickety click, clickety click. Oh, excuse me, I forgot to say the author, but you know what? I don't know the author because it's not on the cover. Lots of times a book will have the author's name on the cover, and if it's not there, it'll be right in the inside cover. And remember, that's what's missing. So we'll not worry about it. Clickety clickety click went the animal train, hurrying on its way to the zoo. Ding ding dong rang the bell, and toot 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 tootled the whistle. Here it goes. And you can start to see there's some animals in that train, right? This is actually the cover of the book, and this is the page. So we're not seeing the exact sequence of cars, but you get the idea. And there'll be more pictures where you can see the animals better. And they're coming up. And the animals heard, and the engineer heard, and the brakeman heard, and the conductor heard. But what the engineer didn't know, and what the brakeman didn't know, but what the animals did know, got all that, was that the giraffe had chewed a big hole in the roof of their car. Oops. And we'll see what happens with that. Here's the caboose. So you know this is more towards the front of the train. And here we have what? A giraffe and an elephant and a hippo. I don't think you can see anybody in the caboose right there, no. But you can see that they got out of a hole. Now, those names that I read, engineer, brakeman, conductor, those are all usually men. In those days, they were men when this book was written, and they all had jobs on the train. The engineer was like the man that drove the train and made sure everything was running well, the engine, etc. That's why his name is Engineer. The brakeman had to work on things with the train to make sure it would brake appropriately, and other important parts of the train as well. And the conductor was the one that made sure that the people on the train, or in this case the animals, that their tickets were collected, that they were where they were supposed to be, that everything was under control. He was kind of like the manager of the train, so to speak. So anyway, back to the story. The giraffe chewed a hole, and out climbed the giraffe, and out climbed the elephant. And that's what we just saw on the top of the car, okay? And then, oh, and here we go. I do not have an elephant, but I do have a giraffe. They climbed out, and out climbed the brown bear. There's a light brown bear with darker brown paws, etc. And then out climbed a band of monkeys. And they mean literally a band. Here's a little monkey, and there was 3 of them, and they were in a band. They weren't a group of monkeys, they were, but they mean band because here's the bear climbing out on the top of the car, and here's a band of monkeys, and they're all playing instruments. See? A drum, what they call a fife, which is sort of like a little flute, and then this is a horn. See? So, these monkeys were talented, and out they came. Tooty toot went the horn, drumbity drum went the drum, on a drum, okay, and fifety fife went the fife. Toot, 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 toot. There's the drum, there's the horn, there's the fife. Yep. That's kind of a high sound, the fife, high-pitched. The giraffe went hippity-hopping along one car after another. So he got out of one car roof, then he jumped to the next car of the train on the roof, then he jumped to the next car of the train on the roof, which, if you really think about it, I don't think that would happen with a giraffe. But this is a book that's a make-believe book, and anything can happen in a make-believe story, right? So that's what the giraffe did. Jumped from one end of the train to the other on top of the cars. The elephant, excuse me, the elephant waltzed behind him, and the bear danced and turned somersaults in rhythm with the monkey band. Isn't this crazy? So here's the front of the train, and here's near the back, and here's where they all came out, and here's the giraffe leaping from one car to the next. Looks like there's another animal in there too, huh? And there's the elephant. How many elephants have you seen dancing on top of a car? And there's those monkeys, and there's the bear just doing a somersault. There's a hippo. What do you think? And the train went clickety-click, clickety-click over the rails. And if you've ever seen an old train, even a new train, sometimes those rails make a clickety-click sound, and back then probably even more so. Here we go. There's the front of the train with the smoke coming out of the smokestack, and all the cars, and where do you see on top? Here's a monkey sitting on the hippo. The elephant, the bears, the monkeys. One of the monkeys is on the giraffe's neck. I think they're having fun, don't you? And that's how they went along this train, and it went through hills and maybe some mountains and valleys, up and down, and they're all bouncing around on top. Then up popped the conductor and yelled till he was red in the face. Why do you think he yelled? I think he wanted those animals out of the car and wondered, how did this happen? And the brakeman shook his fist, like I said, till he was red in the face. That's another guy, remember, that helps on the train, the conductor and the brakeman. And then the engineer blew the whistle till the engine was red in the face because it was going toot, toot. He wanted that train to be aware. Here's the engine. They put, looks like he has eyes and a nose and a mouth. It's just kind of the way he's shaped. Monkeys are playing around on him, and the guy's sticking out his head and looking at all these mischievous little animals running all over. I should say big animals. And they're saying, like, stop. But the monkeys played on. The giraffe hippity-hopped, and the elephant waltzed. That's like dancing. And the bear danced and turned somersaults. Here we are, these two guys. And the bear's doing somersaults. Whoop, flip. The giraffe is hippity hopping, which is kind of hard to think about, but we can pretend with our stuffies. And the train went clickety click, and the monkeys played on in their little band. And there they go, up a hill, on their way. And even though there's some man here saying, wait, and man over here, everybody's saying that work on the train, what is going on here? Then down went the conductor, and down went the brakeman, and the engineer didn't blow the whistle anymore, and the train didn't go clickety click anymore. It wasn't going fast. Instead, it was going slower. So it was making a clickety click sound, but it was more like clickety click, clickety click, instead of clickety click, clickety click. And we're just going slower, clickety click, clickety click, down the track. Another picture of the same thing that you saw, but yeah, they just went over a bridge, or they're about to go over a bridge, excuse me. Here's the back of the train, and here's the front of the train, and there's the animals prancing on top. But look what they're getting close to. Can you see what that is? It's like a mountain or a big hill, and there's a hole in it, and that is a tunnel. Do you think that's why the train is slowing down? Probably. Now, what the giraffe didn't know, and what the elephant didn't know, and what the bear didn't know, and what the monkey didn't know, the monkey band, I should say, all three of them. But what the conductor did know, and what the engineer did know, was that the train was entering a tunnel, a very low tunnel that was just high enough for the cars to slip through. Because tunnels, if you've ever been in one, maybe you've been in a car with your family and your car has to go through a tunnel because the road goes that way. And the only way to get to the other side on the road is to go through a tunnel. And tunnels are made very carefully and safe, and they're made to fit cars. Now, if it's a train tunnel, it's made to fit a train. So they make it as high as is necessary for trains to get through. But do you think they make it high as necessary for animals dancing on top of a train? Nope, that makes that train higher than it is. If you have a car and this is the top of the car, and you have an animal dancing on top and jumping and doing somersaults, you're not going to fit through a tunnel that's about this low, are you? The animal is too big. Poop. And we don't want those animals to get hurt, do we? So the train had to slow down. And the animals had to realize what was going on. And this is what happened. The giraffe was pushed back. The elephant was pushed back. The bear was pushed back. And the monkey band was pushed back. And there they are. They're almost to the tunnel. Yikes. And he's like, whoa, you can see. Here's the tunnel opening. And here they are on top. There's no way that train can fit in there, in that tunnel, with those animals on top. They had to think quick, didn't they? Maybe the engineer and the brakeman and the conductor were yelling because they knew they were going to be in trouble pretty soon, especially when that tunnel came. And all of them, all of the animals, one by one, dropped through the hole which the giraffe had chewed in the roof, of their car, the roof of their car, and they all dropped through the hole down into their car again. Wow, they had to work fast. This looks like they're right there. The giraffe went down. The elephant fit in that hole too. Wow. Somehow, the monkey and the bear also snuck down in there. They made it. And then the conductor and the brakeman and the engineer, all three of those hardworking men on the train, they all worked away and nailed up the hole that the giraffe had made. See, they said no more of that. They got wood and they got nails and hammers and they went pound, pound, pound and nailed that roof hole shut. Who's watching? There's the elephant with his trunk peeking out. And the giraffe peeking out of his with his long neck saying, what's going on over there? And he saw what they did. They were repairing that spot he had chewed out. That hole was dangerous to have, wasn't it? And then the three men on the train fed the animals their supper. And the animals ate their suppers and went to sleep. They look pretty happy. I'm sure they were happy they got saved the last minute. Looks like they're eating some. The bear has honey. The monkeys have what is one of their favorite foods they're famous for? Bananas. The elephant looks like he's having a lettuce salad, and the giraffe is like, whoop, I'd like some too. So they're all happy and enjoying their meal, and the train went clickety-click, clickety-click over the rails. And now, here's the engine. And this was like a cougar or a tiger, cheetah, one of those animals inside a cage. He never got out, thank goodness. But all these other ones are looking out, but they're safe inside now. They're not on top. And that's the end of The Animal Train by Mystery Person. And I hope you enjoyed it. See you later.